Well, hello and welcome back to Tarot for Our Times. This is Sarah, your medium on the go. And coming up next month is the big parade that our leader is going to have. A big military parade, I guess, going down Pennsylvania Avenue, which is something that dictators have done. To me, this is it's a big ego trip because it happens to fall on his birthday, or maybe he's going to have it the day after his birthday, so it doesn't look so much like this. And it's just one big disgusting macho display, and but again, like a lot of other things that he does, instead of looking at this as a distraction or something to get really hysterical about, it's another one of those, well, that this is very revealing about who he is. And again, with knowledge is the best thing that we can have in combating a lot of this sort of thing, um, in this awful regime that we're now experiencing it. So the card that I thought that would be the most appropriate is the Six of Wands reverse. And it is a false victory, or it's a victory in the eyes of the person on the horse, and just a big show. And as you can see, there aren't that many people in the background. They're not so it looks like some of them are there because they have to be. So I want to look at this as what to expect. I think I've seen some stuff on social media that there will be counter protests. I think another thing to do is to treat it like the inauguration. Don't watch it. Just don't watch it. I don't know what day of the week that falls on. Let me just quickly see if this is on a if he's doing this on the weekend, to make sure that, of course, that's been the big Saturdays have been the big days of okay, let's see here, calendar. Yeah, because that's been the big protest days. So let's see, we have, look at the month here. Okay, and then we go to June. The 15th is on, okay, Saturday is Flag Day. Okay, it's either Saturday or Sunday. Sunday is Father's Day, so it's, if he's having it on the if he's having it on the 14th, which is his birthday, that's big protest day, and why not have big protest day on Sunday and do it as a Father's Day theme? So at any rate, I would say that would be, if that's going to happen, that's a time to be very, very careful, to be peaceful with this. I would say that for having people not show up is a good thing. I'm sure they're going to be bussing in. I'm sure that they will go to tremendous expense to be bussing in the MAGA gang, because otherwise, that's a shrinking beast. And I think that left to their own devices, people, and besides, who has money for hotels and things like that? So that should be interesting to see how much they spend on that. But at any rate, we're going to see what it is, see how it's going to be received. If there's another reading I feel that needs to come off of this, it'll be a short one. Okay. Because again, we don't want to spend too much time on this, but it's good to, as a revealing sort of thing. So I'm doing the before and after thing. So the main thing that we have here, the energy we have here, is the Seven of Wands reversed. Seven of Wands reversed is in this in this deck, when he's upright, he's really holding his own. He's really holding his own. With this in reverse, not so much. To me, this I would have to interpret this as one of those desperate things to love me, love me, love me, that kind of a thing. So we've got that, and then the oops, wrong deck. Okay, so then we have the I've been shuffling these. So we have the before tarot, kind of what leads up to this, which is okay, so we have the Eight of Pentacles, where he's in the process of having them set in place and saving and planning. It looks like this isn't going to be very well planned, or this is a lot of money. That's the thing, that there will be a lot of resentment since veterans benefits have been cut, that however they're planning and finance and doing this is not very good. And so we have in the after tarot, which is why they're up against a lot and not handling it well. And then we have okay, very interesting. We got the Three of Pentacles in the aftermath of the if it were upright, he's just getting himself prepared for the patrons to come in the room. I would say in the reversal, they're not coming. They're not coming. So that pretty much tells me that there aren't going to be a lot of people coming, and that possibly his insider people do not thinking this is the greatest idea. He's doing in this big gesture of, oh, they're going to love me kind of thing, where actually that's not the case at all. So the energy underlying all of this is the Six of Cups. It's the fantasy of wanting to go back to the past, of the glory days and the great patriotism. He's talking about, today was talking about the end of World War II being celebrated. Trust me, this is not this just really tells me how delusional he is, because he's doing a lot of the things that we fought against, which is fascism, basically. So that is the energy in which that is happening. So underneath that, what do I want to use for underneath that? Let's see. We could do the before, kind of all this stuff leading up to it. In the past, we have, we have that getting everything prepared to set it up. Like I think what he's thinking of is like what you see in the movies, the old movies, that this is kind of like part of this is a big fantasy thing. So the underlying here in the present is there are conflicts. I would say it's not only with the people kind of against him, the anti-MAGAs. I'm going to say that underneath all of this, there are people in his circle who don't think this is a good idea. Some don't think it's a good idea, and they're really getting ready for a fight. And this is also a fight of how many troops, and they can't have all the tanks because that'll wreck the pavement, and that would have to be repaired. So there's going to be a lot of infighting. And then we have here very interesting with the Nine of Rods. all the protections and the guardrails they think they're putting in place, the wolf will still enter or that wild animal, I guess that is a wolf, will enter the grounds. That's not a good sign at all. So, looking at we have the in opposition. Oh, here we go. Boy, this is the perfect mate for the Six of Wands, which is the focus card. The Six of Wands in reverse, and also the base card for this, which is this. I think the Seven of Wands. What is that? Yeah, the Seven of Wands reverse. This is coming from, he's doing this from a position of weakness. And I'm telling you, Democrats and any power, you better be smelling the blood in the water on this one. This is kind of like a really good place to attack him on the floors of Congress and in the town halls. He's really setting himself up. This is going to be a disaster. So what the conscious thought behind this whole thing is here we go. Titty baby card, the Page of Cups. This is all about I'm going to show what a big man I am, and I'm going to make people love me, and all of that sort of thing. Kind of forcing people to. And then the subconscious, we have the Eight of Wands in reverse. I think that this whole thing is that they're trying to this is kind of like trying to stir up the love and the positive things, which is that's telling me that this is just this is a losing proposition, and this is like, we're going to make them love us, and then all the things we want to do will fall in place. It's reverse. It's not going to happen. It's a delusion. It's the delusion, which is the subconscious. So, in the past, so we'll use the before tarot. Okay, in the past, we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is about karma, but not all the elements are put in place. So it's not looking that good. I'm going to say if it were in reverse, it means it would be a total disaster in the really worst way. We don't want to happen. But this is kind of like saying, nice try, but just like a lot of the things you've tried to do, or the big promises you've made, you just don't have what you need in place to turn that wheel. And that this has happened. Wall in Mexico, all of that. And so what has happened is that nothing, big, so this is sort of like a big blowhard exercise, and like to rally the troops and to get the love. But it's not going to work because you don't have the basics, the elements of the zodiac, which are there. It's just, you don't have everything you need. It's all about the lack of self-awareness and everything that goes with it. Okay, so in the present, as this is being planned, it's kind of short notice too when you think of it. You've got to get all those troops, all that equipment. It's going to be so expensive. So let's see. In the present as it stands now. Oh, here we go. It's the juggling of the money. It's the juggling of how are we going to finance this? Is there money out? See, I want to know if there's money already allocated for special events or So I don't know exactly how that works, but that may be, they may not be getting the money that is needed for this to make it as big and grand as possible. I'm sensing there are votes peeling off because of um, the hostile town halls and that sort of thing. So, okay, so in the immediate future, we have the Fool, which is, well, we've just begun this. We're going to jump off the cliff and see how this goes. I think for a certain crowd of people, like the hardcore base, they're going to say this is a great idea, and and we're going to take a chance and do this. I would say that they're not going to get any new people aboard, and in fact, they may lose some more veterans because because of the losing the benefits. Okay, so we got that in the more distant future with the after tarot here. Okay, we've got coming up I would say the Four of Cups in reverse is, as the water spills out, it wasted effort. That's what I'm getting, wasted effort. I I think what the cards have been saying is that they're kind of running out of options, and that it's kind of like the spilling of the milk, and that he's going to be crying over the spilled milk. So this is in the more distant future, and I'll do a little bit more intensive on the hopes and the fears. Hopes and fears, we have the Page of Pentacles. A new way to, I think what this is saying is that this is a new way that they may use to raise funds, just like they have people contribute to the inauguration. Maybe they're going to try to get the donors to contribute to this. They will get some, but some of the oligarchs, like Jeff Bezos, may not. He may contribute, but he may not give as much when he thinks of all of those boats sitting in the harbor, and the people can't get all their stuff on Amazon. That's got to be hurting his bottom line. Schmuckerberg, yeah, I think he's you got a little bit of buyer's remorse. So that this is I think that the idea, the hopes. There's the hopes of raising money off of this. There's the fear that since he's in reverse, that they will not be able to do it. So I wanted to get a concluding card here. So in conclusion, yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory. In conclusion, we have, I'm telling you folks, cannot make this stuff up. Bad idea. They planted the tree. Oh, he's really in the shadow. Those pentacles do not look like, they look like they've got all kinds of, I don't know, the shadows are falling over them. He does not look happy. So they planted a bad tree. This whole thing wasn't good. I think I want to take a little bit of a deeper look at this. So we're going to see, okay, leading up to it in the before tarot, we have, oh, this is interesting because they're grasping. This is part of that grasping at straws thing. And the straws are highly flammable too. They're kind of grasping for straws, getting desperate to try to find some popularity. So this is they're grasping for that. There's a regret. There's a regret of didn't plant those seeds too well, and I don't want to pick that rotten fruit off the trees. And then the aftermath of that with the after tarot, then we have, oh wow, we keep getting all this nostalgia back to the past thing. Got to take a look at this. Okay, and this is the Six of Cups in reverse. I would say upright. To me, this upright, because I seem to be learned. I'm kind of growing with these cards. Upright. This is all about. Okay, we planted the flowers. It was fun. It was fun taking the trip down memory lane. Oh, but now it's dinner time. Time to go to the here and now, and that was fun while it lasted. But the reality of us, oh, dinner time, that they move on. In reverse, they think they may be walking away, but they're not. They're just absolutely stuck in the past. I keep seeing that. I thought, like, just like he did with he saw the Escape from Alcatraz movie and thought it would be a good idea to open up Alcatraz. I think in this instance, they saw some. I don't know if they ever had those parades in Andy Hardy movies or some of those old movies that they have the big 4th of July parade with the soldiers and all of this. Or maybe he saw the Triumph of the Will, which was the big Hitler parade propaganda movie. I'm sort of leaning towards that. Ooh, that looked really good in Germany, so let's do that. So I want to do the lesson to be. Let's see, take it to us. I'm going to move these off a little bit. The lesson to be learned. Maybe I'll do a few cards on that. The lesson to be learned from this for us in looking at this. And again, detach emotionally. Very important. So the lesson to be learned for us is this is just an expensive act of betrayal. And I think maybe people would see it as treasonous, because symbolically treasonous, because of the disparaging way he's spoken of our soldiers and sailors, plus the fact when he was in office the first time, he was a D-Day, he didn't go somewhere because it was going to mess his hair up. So this may be he may not have as much of the armed forces on board, from the generals on down to the grunts, because of the, looking at the big picture, and he's a draft. And it wasn't because he was idealistic about the Vietnam War that until fairly recently he thought it was a good idea, but that was for the, that was for the, the boys and boys way downtown and way uptown and out of his world of the Upper East Side to go and fight. So they know it too. So there's the basic act of betrayal, that in fact this is not a patriotic move, that this is more of a mockery of that in a sense. So then, leading up before the tarot is, it's interesting. This is Temperance in reverse, the before Temperance in reverse. Upright, she's getting those, the angel is getting those cups ready to be in balance. She's getting pretty well prepared, and I think it's one of those, is stepping into the spiritual world to fill the, the one cup from the land and the other from the water. But in reverse, it's ill prepared, ill prepared for this, that this is just leading up to Temperance in reverse, which is about off balance and substance abuse too. So this may be more like filling the cup with the cocktail, or maybe in his case, whatever for entertainment purposes only, whatever scripts he's getting from the doctors to keep him going. So then in the after tarot, we have, here we go. Okay, we have the Wheel of Fortune. Now it's in reverse. And in the after, they've got, yep, they did put the, they do have the zodiac elements. They have everything in place. But this is in reverse. And usually this is, when it's upright, it is keeping the devil at bay. I don't know if they had the devil in that other, well, I'm not going to, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, let's see if they had the, oh, that's interesting, because when this came up before, in the before, no, I thought, well, that wheel looks naked. Yeah, no devil there. Okay, not only has the devil character come up in this, but now it is on the top of the wheel. So it's the very negative energy that is driving this, and that it's a negative outcome that had, the message is very much in the devil energy. And this is just not things like this that are for a big show. It's all like show and no substance kind of a thing. It doesn't turn out well. What this is telling me is that this is just another it's just another, I don't want to say nail in the coffin, but maybe figuratively speaking, to the future of this administration is the nice way that I can put this. So I feel as though another after tarot, because let's see what's going to be coming in after the bad fortune. The bad fortune. It's only taking a touchy situation and making it worse. So let's see the after. Oh, here we go. We've got the Three of Swords. This is very interesting. Here we have the Three of Swords, but it's in reverse. And that's about the swords leaving and the healing kind of thing. But the whole thing is that this is leaving a very injured heart. This is going to do more harm than good. This is not going to raise the morale. What it's going to do is have a lot of wounds that are open. And I keep feeling as though it's the military thing. And thing is that swords have been a big part of the military. I think they still have them for dress uniforms and all that sort of thing. So this is going to cause a rift in our armed forces, but it's also, but that's part of our society. But this is saying that this is going to leave a lot of scars, and what I believe will happen, what this is telling me, is that what will happen is that that's going to be bringing more people to the protest. And I just had a guide remind me, because I was around then I remember going to those myself, is that for the Vietnam War, they had a lot of veterans that came back from Vietnam. And John Kerry, who ran for president in 2004 and had won honors for bravery in Vietnam, when he was discharged, he formed veterans groups against that war. And this is what I'm seeing happening. That there may be a revival. This was the 21st century version. That's what this. That's part of the way that maybe some of them feel that as they lose their benefits and have been called losers and all this sort of thing, that the way to heal the broken heart is to become a bigger presence in the protests. So what I'm seeing here as a result of this is that instead of this doing any good to whip up, it isn't even patriotism, it's to whip up loyalty to him. That's what dictators do. But it's going to have it worked for Hitler. It did work for Hitler. But we're all past that. I think what it's going to do is that it's going to bring more people on over to the other side, because a lot of these veterans, and I know that a lot of them that came back from Vietnam were a mess, and so the way that they feel that this could be a healing thing is they're going to be joining the protests, and it will be Veterans Against Trump. And a lot of them are fresh from Afghanistan, and other conflicts that, and as we see the war again with Pakistan and India whipping up, and seeing that he is not the big omnipresent energy for peace like he touted himself to be, that I see that this is probably more of a kick in the butt and an insult to the people, to the military, than it is honoring them, because I'm telling you, there are going to be a lot of them in that parade. They're going to lose their leave for Father's Day or whatever. They're going to be in the parade and they'll do it, but they're not going to, a lot of them are going to really resent it. So this is very interesting. Kind of the beginning of the reading was, I kind of expected that, but this whole thing with the ending and, and bringing the military in it themselves, this was a little bit unexpected. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this turns out, because this parade could be a big indication as if he would have military support for, God forbid, martial law. And Hegseth wants, that's another reading, Hegseth wants to fire generals. Well, he's too drunk and incompetent to really, he won't even know which generals to fire. And I think a lot of them are having powwows. Anyway, so that's for another reading, but this is not going to help that cause at all. If anything, especially these final cards tell me it's very likely to have the opposite effect. So at any rate, now I leave you, and I'll see you soon. Bye.